Hey guys, how's it going? This is the instructions for the fourth Word assignment, which is Microsoft Word tab stops. This is a tab stops assignment. The first thing we need to do after we open up a new document, blank document, we need to go to no spacing. Okay. No, we need to go to no spacing. No spacing is under the Home tab. It's the styles group. So it's this right here. We have normal, that's the default one. Then we have no spacing. It says SPAC, but that one is no spacing. Okay. Next thing we need to do is make sure that we have our ruler, that we can see our ruler. Okay. Let's go to view, and we're going to make sure that we have the ruler checked. This is without the ruler, this is with the ruler. Okay. Let's make sure that we have the ruler on. So we can see how we are doing with this. Okay. Next thing, this assignment is about tab stops. This assignment is about tab stops. Now, by default, the tabs move when you hit the tab key on the keyboard. It moves the cursor. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, it moves the cursor over about half of an inch. So it moves it to right about there. Then it moves it to right about there. By default, it moves it about half of an inch over. Okay. So what we want to do is, instead of moving it over a half inch, we want to tell it to move over at a specific distance on the page. So instead of moving over a half an inch, we want to move it to a 0.8, and then a 2.2, and then a 3.8, and then a 5.1. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, we want to go to the Home tab. Okay, and under the Home tab, the area that we're going to be working with the most on this one is the paragraph. Not any of these, but this little thing, that little arrow, diagonal arrow in the corner, that's the one that we're gonna click on. Okay, we're gonna click on tabs. All right, now tab stop position. What this means is anytime I hit the tab, it goes to the next number in this list. So if I add 0.8, we can choose the alignment, left, center, right, decimal. We'll talk about the decimal one in a minute, but we're going to do left because that's what it says right here. Okay, these are our instructions where it says set left tabs at 0.8, 2.2, 3.1, 3.8, and 5.1. So I'm going to hit set. Don't hit enter. Don't hit OK yet. Just hit set. And then I'm going to go to 2.2. I'm going to do 2.2. Again, don't hit enter or don't hit OK. Just hit set. 3.8. Make sure it's left aligned and make sure that there's none for the leader. Click set. The last one is 5.1. It's going to be on the left. I'm going to hit none. I'm going to keep none as an option. Then hit set. Now once we get 4 numbers in this box, we're going to hit OK. See what happened? We have, right now, we have these little L-shaped marks that showed up. They weren't there before, but they showed up when we used the custom tab stops. Okay? When we use the custom tab stops, they showed up. So I'm gonna bring that up there. Okay. I'm gonna type in, let's see, I'll just type in computer viruses. I'm going to hit enter. It goes down to the next one. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to hit an tab. Okay. So in this one, I know it looks like it's in columns. It looks like it's in columns, like we are used to with first two Word assignments, but these are not columns. I know they look like columns, but what we're doing is we're using the tab key to line everything up. Type in the first one, hit tab, type in the second one, hit tab, type in the third one, hit tab, type in the last one, hit enter to go down to the next line, hit tab. Okay, all we're doing is hitting tab in between each one. Okay, if you are doing it correctly, your assignment should look like this. These are names of actual viruses. That have affected millions of computers. Okay, suppose I had the entire list. You guys need to type in the entire list. Suppose I had the entire list. Now, I'm going to pause right here. You guys pause the video right here. Okay. All right. Make sure that you set up your tab stops. Make sure you set up your tab stops like I did. And then start typing everything. Hit tab in between. So don't use the space bar. You don't need to touch the space bar at all. Just use the tab to go down to the next one. We're going to hit tab at the very beginning, and it lines everything up right there. And okay. I'm going to enter a couple of times. Now, pause the video right here, do the first section, then come back to this video, push play, and we're going to do the next section. Okay. All right, here is the next section. We're going to come down here to computer terms. We need to set center tabs. You notice how everything is centered? Hit center tabs at 1.2, 2.4, 3.6, and 4.8 inches. All right, we're going to do that. Let's come up here. Let's bring it up here. Now, down here, you notice how we have these tabs. Okay, we're going to go to the tab stops menu, which is right here. The little diagonal arrow next to the paragraph. We're going to click on tabs. Okay, these tabs, we don't need these ones anymore because these ones are related to this section up here. So the first thing we need to do is delete them from the box. We can do one at a time. That just deletes that. We can do one at a time. What we need to do is hit clear, or we can hit clear all to take them all out. And I'm going to type in 1.2, and I'm going to make sure this is in the center. Okay, you need to make sure this is in the center each time. I'm going to hit 2.4, make sure it's in the center. For each one of these, make sure that it is center aligned. 3.6, and then 4.8. Set. Now when I have four of them, all four of these numbers in this box, and make sure that they are all centered. As you go down, if one of them is on that side, then it'll look like that. So you can check, making sure that all of them are centered. That one's centered, this one's centered. That one is left aligned, so let's change that to center and click set. And 4.8 is center aligned. Now I'm going to hit OK. Watch what happens when I hit OK. Watch what happens to these little L shapes right there. Okay, they change. They turn into little upside down T's. That is a center. Okay. So on this line, I'm going to type in computer terms. I'm going to go down on the next line, and I'm going to hit tab. Okay. Type in keyboard. I'm going to hit tab. Mouse, printer, scanner. All right. See how it centers it? All right. And I'll just do a few lines. You guys are required to do all of them. For full credit on the assignment, you're required to do all of these. Okay, I'm just going to do 4. Hit tab after each one. Hit tab after each one. And software. Okay, guys, be sure that you do the whole list. Now, instead of hitting these, instead of using the spacebar or using columns, we're just hitting tab. Okay, we're just hitting tab. Now, next one is the computer programs. That was computer terms. Now we have computer programs. Let me show you how to do that. We are going to go to the tab stops menu again, like this, and we're going to clear all. We're going to take all of those out of the box. We don't need those anymore. All right, I'm going to type in 2, and I'm going to use the right tab. So I'm going to make sure that shows right, and then I'm going to make sure that I have dot leaders. Those are the little, that's the, it's number 2. It's that one right there. So I've got the right, and I've got the dot leaders, which is number 2. I'm going to click set. Then I'm going to go 3.5. Right click, and see how that switched back to the default, which is none. If you do not see the period show up, now the periods are automatically added when we click tab. That's why we want this one selected. I'm going to click set. I've got 5, right, and set, and then 6.5, and number 2, and set. I'm going to click OK. Type in computer programs. All right, my little tabs, or my little symbols in the ruler, they changed again. All right, when I hit tab, I get the periods to show up automatically. And everything is right aligned. Everything is right aligned like this. And I'm going to do one more line. Oh, do you see how I didn't? I hit tab first, and then I go over Internet Explorer, Audacity, Safari. Okay. Excel, InDesign. It's actually one word, I'm pretty sure. Google Chrome, and Outlook. Okay. I'm going to go down a few more. I'm going to go down a few empty lines. Last one is the decimals tab. Okay, make sure that you guys finish these lists. Okay, but then we'll go down to the decimal tab. That's going to be done instead of left, center, or right. We're going to use the decimal alignment. Let me show you what that looks like, and we don't need none. So I'm going to hit clear all. I'm going to type in 1.5. I'm going to do decimal and none, set. I'm going to do 3 and decimal and none. I'm going to do 4.5, decimal and none, and then I'm going to do 6, decimal and none. Make sure those are all added in there. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to type in some numbers here. All right. If you look really, really closely, you're going to see a little upside down T with the little, there's a little dot to the right of the upside down T. That's the decimal. Let me show you what that looks like. 1.61. All right, 654.25, 873.14, 546.57. Okay. This is handy when doing numbers because it lines everything up with the decimal point. So if I had something else typed here, something else, okay, it shows up to the right. All right. Everything is right aligned, except if we were to add in a decimal place, like if we were typing in a number and added in a decimal place, okay, everything to the right of the decimal, well, the decimal would line up, and then everything else would work out, would be the right way, would be aligned correctly is what I'm trying to say. 0.90, okay. 679 point, all right, 1.30, 9.37. Oh, that's interesting. So far we've only had two numbers on the, I accidentally hit the 8, and we've only had two numbers to the right of the decimal. If we have more numbers to the right of the decimal, it shows up, the decimal still is what is centered, okay? We could have more on each side, and that's just fine. So after you get all of this done, after you finish all of these lists, then you are done. Make sure that it looks like this, but don't try to use columns, or don't try to use the space bar, because things get messed up. It's easy to tell. So if you do it this way, if you do it correctly like this, you'll get full credit on the assignment. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.